Welcome back to my channel. So today we are gonna study animal tissue. So let's begin. Let's see how organization of organism takes place. So first atoms come together and they form a DNA molecule. Now this DNA molecule come together and form a cell. Then these cells are transformed into tissues. Tissues form organ and then this organ forms organ system and then various organ systems are present in the organism and a whole organism is formed. So in last video we saw about cell structure and its organization. So and if you have not watched, please go and watch that video. It's important. I'll share the link in the description below. So we studied that cell is a structural and functional unit of life. It is made up of cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Cytoplasm contains various organelles like mitochondria, vacuoles, chloroplast which is present in plastids, ribosomes, etc. So and each of them have a specific functions. Now there are two types of cell. One is somatic cell, which is a general body cell present all over the body except the reproductive organs, and germ cells, which are also known as sex cells, which are present are mainly concerned in reproduction. So as we all know, groups of cell comes together and forms tissue. Study of structure and arrangement of tissue is called as histology. So as you can see, these are the groups of cells which come together and forms tissue. So today in this lecture or this video, we are going to study about tissues. So tissues are basically divided into four types. So the first is epithelial tissues, which is also known as covering tissues. This tissues helps for protection. Second is connective tissue, which is also known as supporting tissue. So this tissue helps in binding different body structures. Hence it is known as connective. Third one is muscular tissue, which is also known as contractile tissue, which helps in movement and locomotion. And the last one is nervous tissue, which is known as conductive tissue. This tissue helps in conduction of nerve impulse. So epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissue. These are the four types of tissue which are present in the body. Now first let's see about epithelial. Now let's see about epithelial tissue. So they are the outer surface lines, the outer surface of the organ and the blood vessels throughout the body. As you can see over here, this is the blood vessel and this is the epithelial lining and this is the basement membrane. Okay, as well as the inner surface of the cavity in many internal organs, for example trachea or esophagus. Functions of epithelial cells include secretion, selective absorptions, protection, transcellular transport, and sensing. So these are the epithelial cells and these are the basement membrane on which it is lying. Now they are of two types, simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple, which means what? It contains single layer of cells as this, and compound, which many layers are present. All the cells rest on the basement membrane. All the cell can rest on basement membrane, but in compound only the last layer can rest on the basement membrane. So mostly the function of the simple epithelium is secretory, absorptive and protective in nature, and compound epithelium are mostly protective in nature. Now the epithelium, which are classified as simple and compound, or simple is further classified into simple squamous, simple cuboidal, simple columnar, which is divided into two, ciliated and non-ciliated. Then comes glandular, sensory and germinal. And the compound ones contain stratified and transitional. So these are the two types of compound epithelium. Now the first type of epithelium, which is simple squamous epithelium. So as you can see over here, they are polygonal in shape with a central nucleus. So they are found in peritoneum of coelom and endothelium, that is a lining of the blood vessel, that is also found on the surface of the skin. So they have centrally placed nucleus and they give a pavement like appearance. So the main function is filtration and diffusion of material, protection of skin from microorganisms and foreign particles. Now the second type, which is simple cuboidal epithelium. As you can see over here, these are the cube-like structure, hence they are known as cube. They're generally found in thyroid glands and kidneys. So structure is cube-like with centrally placed spherical or round nucleus. They play an important role in absorption and secretion. Now comes the simple columnar epithelium. So they are present inner lining of the stomach, intestine and other internal organs. So they are tall like column, means tall like pillar like structure. with the nucleus which is oval or elliptical and placed near the basal end. That means near the basement membrane they are present. Now the first type in the columnar is ciliated, so it is found in the upper respiratory tract, fallopian tubes of vertebrae, etc. So structures are tall pillar-like structure with the nucleus resting near the basement membrane. They have hair-like structure as we can see over here, which are known as cilia, and the function is of vibratory movements. They are capable to remove foreign particles from the surface, and cilia helps in movement of non-motile ovum. Hence they are present in the fallopian tube. Now the second type, which was non-ciliated columnar epithelium, so these are without cilia at the anterior free end and hence called as non-ciliated columnar epithelium. Columnar cells there at their apical region show presence of finger-like projection which is known as microvilli. As you can see over here, this is microvilli. And microvilli helps in increasing the surface area of absorption, which is main function of non-ciliated columnar epithelium. Hence, they are present in intestine. Moving on to the further, which is glandular epithelium. So there are specialized epithelium cells capable of synthesizing substance like enzymes, hormone, and sweat, oil glands, etc. These secretions are carried into the ducts of the surface or into the blood. The secretion is formed by the specialized epithelial cell, commonly known as glands. So there are two types of gland: endocrine gland and exocrine glands. So what are endocrine glands? Their secretion are directly poured into the blood. They are ductless glands. Example is pituitary thyroid. And exocrine glands means they have duct. So the secretion is meant to carry by duct or tube into the secretion. They are responsible for body secretion. Example is tear gland, salivary gland, gastric gland, etc. Now the compound epithelium, which are of two types, that is stratified epithelium and transitional epithelium. Moving on to the second type of tissue, which is connective tissue. So it arises from mesodermal of the embryo and it is most abundant type of animal tissue. So the connective tissues are mostly formed of matrix, which is nothing but a ground substance usually secreted by the connective tissue cells themselves. So it helps in diffusion of food material, water, gases, waste to and from the cells. And second is cells. So this cell secretes fibers which are called as collagen or elastin. Now this collagen and elastins are nothing but they are structural proteins. So now let's see the classification of connective tissue. So connective tissue, which is commonly mesodermal in origin, so they are classified into tissue proper, supporting tissues, and fluid connective tissues. So now in this tissue proper, they are again divided into two types, that is loose connective tissues, dense connective tissues. In loose connective tissues, there are few fibers and more ground substance. Ground substance means matrix are present more. And in dense connective tissue, more fibers are present and less ground substance are present. Now this loose connective tissue are divided into areolar, adipose, and reticular. And dense tissues are of two types, regular and irregular. Now supporting connective tissues. So they are of two types, cartilages and bone. So cartilage is nothing but semi-solid matrix and bone is solid matrix. Now there are four types, hyaline, fibrocartilage, elastin. And in bone there are two types, compound and spongy. And fluid, connective fluid is nothing but blood. Now let's move on to the first topic, that is of tissue proper, of loose connective tissue, which is the areolar connective tissue. So it is found below the skin, muscles and bone. So its function is connection. So it fixes the skin with the muscle and attaches the blood vessels and nerves with the surrounding tissues and keep the muscle fibers together. Now let's see the structure. So it contains jelly-like substance mucin, which contains numerous fibers, cells and abundant mucin. Now the fibers are of two types. First is white fibers and second is yellow fibers. So white fibers are also called as collagen fibers and they contain a protein which is known as collagen. These fibers gives tensile strength to the tissues and collagen fibers are formed at the site of injury for tissue repair. Now comes the yellow fibers, which are thin, elastic and branched. which has the property, or which has the protein which is known as elastin, and it has the property of elastic properties. Now the cell, there are four main types of, so this was about fibers. Now cells, there are four main types of cells: fibroblast, macrophages, mast cells, and adipocytes. So a short recap of areolar tissue. So it contains matrix, gel-like fluid which is abundant. Then it contains fiber. There are two types of fibers: yellow fibers and white fibers. Yellow fibers contain elastin and white fibers contain collagen. And there are four types of cell: fibroblast, macrophage, mast cells, and adipocytes. So now let's see the second type of loose connective tissue, which is adipose connective tissue. Adipose means fats. So they are present in subcutaneous tissue under the skin, in the covering of the heart, and also around the blood vessels and kidney. It also forms the yellow bone marrow. So now let's see what are the functions. So as it stores fat, so it is a food reservoir. It also prevents heat loss and also rounds off the body contour. That means it gives us the shape. It forms a shock absorbing cushion around the kidney and eyeball, and it also produces blood cells, that is blood corpuscles. Now the structure. So adipose tissue is found in association with areolar connective tissue. It is modified areolar tissue consisting large number of adipocytes, that is cells of specialized for fat storage. A fat cell first develop into small fat droplets which later fuses to form a large globule. As you can see over here, now this has formed a large globules. This globules pushes the cytoplasm with its organelle to the periphery and the nucleus to the one side. So as you can see over here, this nucleus is pushed to the one side and this forms the fat globules. Now the adipose tissue are again of two types. First one is white adipose tissue and second is brown adipose tissue. Now the white adipose tissue appears opaque due to the presence of large number of adipocytes which are commonly seen in adults, and the red one is reddish color in due to the large number of blood vessels, and they are mostly found in the fetus and infants. Now the second type, which is dense connective tissue, which is also called as dense fibrous tissue, is a type of connective tissue with fibers as its main matrix element. Dense connective tissue forms strong rope-like structures such as tendons and ligament. Now, what are tendons? Tendons attaches skeletal muscle to the bone. So, as you can see over here, this is the muscle and this is the bone, and this is the Achilles tendons which joins the muscle to the bone. And what are ligament? Ligaments connect bone to bone at the joint. So, these are the ligaments which connects. This is the bone, and bones are connected to each other through ligaments. Moving on to the second type of connective tissue, which is known as cartilage, which is also known as supporting tissues. So as you can see over here, these are the two bones, and surrounding the two bones, that are cartilage. So cartilage contains chondroblast, that is immature young cells, large cells, which then gets converted into a chondrocytes. So these are the large cells which are known as chondrocytes, which are surrounded by a lacuna, as you can see over here. So it contains chondrocytes plus matrix, and the exchange of material between the chondrocytes and matrix takes place through simple diffusion from blood vessels present in the perichondrium. Perichondrium means the area which is present around the cartilage. So there are four types of matrix, that is hyaline cartilage, fibrous cartilage, elastic cartilage, and then comes the calcified cartilage. So now let's see first hyaline. So hyaline, it is the weakest of all the four. So it is found at the ends of the long bones, anterior ends of the ribs, nose tip, larynx, etc. So the structure is, it comprises an elastic in nature. It is surrounded by perichondrium. The matrix, that is the chondrin, is bluish white and jelly-like, which is transparent. It contains fine collagen fibers and chondrogens. So as you can see over here, the hyaline contain chondrin, that is matrix, fine collagen fibers. Collagen means white fibers, and they also contains chondrocytes. So it provides flexibility and support the body. It helps in reducing the friction, and it also a good shock absorber. As you can see over here, the cartilage which is present over between the two bones is hyaline cartilage. Now let's see the second type of cartilage, which is fibrous cartilage, which is the strongest and most rigid cartilage in the body. It is found in pubic symphysis and intervertebral disc. It is not surrounded by pericardium. It contains very little matrix and abundant white collagen fibers. So this combines the flexibility of the cartilage with the firmness of the white fibers. So it acts as a cushion in between the intervertebral disc and in the pubic symphysis, and it supports and aids fusion of different organs of the body. Okay, so it contains less number of matrix and abundant number of white collagen fibers. Now moving on to the elastic cartilage. So it is found in the epiglottis, external ear, ona, as we can see over here, auricle and trachea. So it is surrounded by pericardium. The matrix, which is the chondrin, contains thread-like little fibers which are known as elastic fibers. They are abundant in yellow fibers. So as we can see over here, so there are chondrin, which is matrix, which contains yellow fibers more. Yellow means elastic fibers, hence they are known as elastic. White fibers, which are few, and chondrocytes. It is opaque and yellowish in color, and it rapidly recovers its shape after distortion. It gives supports and maintains the shape of the body. So now let's see the difference between the three. So hyaline is bluish green in color, and this is white opaque in color, and this is yellowish in color. It has few and very thin fibers, white fibers. It has abundant white fibers, and this has yellow fibers more. This is flexible, this is firm, and this is very flexible as it contains elastin in them. Perichondrium is present, perichondrium is absent, and perichondrium is again present in elastic type. So occurs in sternal ribs, trachea, and bronchial rings and nasal septum. This occurs in intervertebral discs and pubic symphysis. This occurs in pinna and nose tip and epiglottis. So now let's study about bone. So it is the hardest tissue in the body. It is a main constituent of skeleton. Bones show presence of hard calcified matrix, which is known as ossin. So the hardness is due to the deposition of inorganic mineral salt called as hydroxyl epithet. So now let's see the internal structure of the heart. So the matrix, which is known as ossin, are arranged in a concentric circles in the form of laminae. So as you can see, these circles which are nothing but known as laminae, which contains ostin. Now inside one laminae there are many lacunae. These are the cell-like structure which are known as lacunae, which contains osteocytes. Now these lacunae are connected to one another to another lacunae by a canalicula. Now there is something which is known as Haverson canal, which means it contain the canal which contains nerves and arteries and veins to the bone. So this is known as Haverson canal. Now there are two types of bones. First one is the compact bone, where there is a Haverson canal present, and second is the spongy bone, which is present inside, which do not contain Haverson canal. And when the two Haverson canal join together, it is known as Walkman's canal. Moving on to the third type of connective tissue, which is muscular tissue. So this arises from embryonic mesoderm. It forms 40% of total body weight. So they are long, elongated, contractile muscle fibers, as you can see over here. They are also known as contractile tissue. They contain two proteins, which is actin and myosin, which helps in locomotion and movement. So the plasma membrane which is covering the cell is known as sarcolemma, and the cytoplasm which is present is known as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm contains protein threads which are known as myofibrils, which contains actin and myosin. So now let's see the types of muscle fibers. So there are three: striated, non-striated, and cardiac. Non-striated are also known as smooth muscles. Now let's first see about striated or skeletal. Now the skeletal muscle, which are also known as striated muscles, they are attached to the bones. So this skeletal muscle contains large number of fascicle, as you can see over here. So this all the fascicles are covered by epimycinum. Now each fascicle is covered by perimysium, as you can see over here. Now this fascicle, which is zoomed over here, contains number of muscle fibers. So now if one muscle fibers is removed and zoomed, so they contain large number of myofibril, as you can see over here. And these are the sarcolemma, that means the cells. Now, if we take a small part of myofibril, what we see is a thin actin filament, which are this, and a thick myosin filament, which are this, red in color. Now they are divided into bands. Central, which is known as A band, and in the central band there is an H zone which is present over here, and sideways there is present of I bands. Now out in the I band there is a central line which is known as Z disc, and outside the I band there is M line. Okay. Now moving on to the other muscles, which is smooth muscle. So they are involuntary, they undergo prolonged but slow contraction and relaxation. The frequency and the intensity of contraction varies. They are responsible for peristalsis movement, which helps in passing of food in the digestive system. So these are the spindle shaped cells with the presence of nucleus in between. So the third type, which is cardiac muscle, so they are found in the walls of the heart or in myocardium. They are also present in the pulmonary vein and superior vena cava. They have the unique ability to generate its own wave of excitation that passes directly from fiber to fiber. So these are the cells which are present. So the junction between the two cells, this is the junction between the two cells, and this is the nucleus, and they are branched. So now let's see the difference between the three. So they are attached to the skeleton by tendon. So found in only in heart. They are found in GI tract, blood vessels, pupil, etc. They are voluntary contraction, involuntary and involuntary. They are striated. These are also striated. They are non-striated. Sensitive to fatigue. That means they get fatigue easily. This does not get fatigue easily, and this is also does not get fatigue. Now moving on to the last type of tissues, which are nervous tissue, which are ectodermal in origin. Now nervous tissue means the tissues which are present in brain, spinal cord and nerves. So the cells of the nervous tissue provides a quickness means of communication within the body and helps the body to give response to the external stimuli. They have two types of properties. First is impulse generating and second is impulsing conducting unit. So the basic properties, excitability and conductivity. Excitability is excitation by external stimuli by changing the action potential of their membrane, and conductivity is to carry the wave of electrical impulse from one dendron to axons. So general, the nervous tissue is made up of system is made up of nervous tissue, and the nervous tissue comprises of nerve cells which are called as neuron and the supporting cells which are known as neuralgia or glia cells. Now let's study the structure of neuron. So it contains cell body, then it contains axon and the hair-like structure which are known as dendrites. So the cytoplasm cell wall contains nucleus and cytoplasm around it. The axon contains myelin sheath and Schwann cells and nodes of Ranvier, as you can see over here. If the myelin sheaths are absent, then they are known as non-myelinated neuron. Now there are two types of neuron. First one is afferent neuron and second is efferent neuron. Afferent neuron carries impulses from the sense organ to the central nervous system, and efferent carries impulse from the central nervous system to the effector organs. Okay. Thank you. Hope you like this video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and share your views in the comment section below. Do share this video with other friends so that they can also get help from it.